the pellet stove. So here's what you gotta know. The first thing that you have to do is check and see if there's pellets. So there's plenty. Usually we fill it up a little bit more than that to about there, about the line there. That's about where we fill it up. And then of course you get the pellets here, and we'll bring in a bunch, so you'll have a bunch there. So next you have to open this. This is just magnetized and it pops open. And then these things come out open like that. Open those. Now when you look in here, there's stuff in there. So you have to open this by, there's a little pulley, and sometimes it's kind of hard to do. Pull it open. And that opens the damper, or that, whatever that's called. And then I take this little chopstick thing and I just kind of swirl it around and make sure there's nothing stuck there. You kind of sometimes just do that. Anyway, so that pushes everything out of there, because if there's stuff in there, it won't light, because the lighter comes from underneath. So if there's too much ash in there, it just won't light. And then you make sure you close this or else it won't work. Just push straight in on it. And then close the door and latch it. Just the reverse. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. So, and then shut the thing. Okay. And then you come over here to the thermostat, which is on the wall over here. And then hit this button that says mode. And it's on heat now, but it wasn't working, so it just needs to be on heat, and once it's all clear and good to go, it'll turn on. So that's the stove. A couple nitpicky things that might run into is the bottom tray might get full, and so the way it can cause problems if the bottom tray is full. So what I usually do is I take it and dump it outside, and we'll dump it before we go, so you won't have to worry about it. But the way you do that is you open the side panels here. They're just magnetized, and it's the same little doohickey down here. And you open this side, and there's another one, and then this bottom drawer just pulls right out, and it's just full of ash. So if you make sure you do that when it's cold, so do it in the morning. I would say once every, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not like super often, but it does need to be done. And we'll do it before we go. And then I can even see if Andy would come and do it halfway through or whatever. So, anyway, that's another thought. The other thing is, so do you see how I turned the thermostat on, but nothing happened. It didn't turn on. So when that happens, you go down here and there's all these buttons. This little button is the reset button. So if you just push that, it will turn it on. And a lot of times it will turn on like this and it won't light. If it's clear and if everything else is good, that means it's probably just not dropping enough pellets. And sometimes, often, what happens is it won't drop enough pellets and then it just won't start. So sometimes I have to push that reset button 2, sometimes 3 times to get enough pellets to drop to make it go correctly. And so we'll figure that out, but that's kind of the pellet stove in a nutshell. So we'll just make sure we have everything, and of course you can always call if there are any problems.